6 goals away from home. 4 points clear at the top of the Premier League table with a game in hand. Arne Slot, quite frankly, is a genius. He has the Midas touch. He is exceptional. Simply a genius. The man can do no wrong. And that was the biggest league win of his campaign so far. And that win at Tottenham, it does actually, to me, feel symbolic. It feels like the statement victory that Liverpool needed because, whilst I didn't necessarily agree with this, there were murmurings that there was a chink in the armour of Liverpool. There were some positioning certain results as being fairly underwhelming for Liverpool and suggesting that there was a way in for somebody to launch a serious and sustained bid to win the league. For example, when Liverpool went away to St James's Park and they got, in my opinion, a credible 3-3 draw, some were suggesting that that was an opening. When Liverpool then followed up that draw with a draw at home to Fulham, people were suggesting that 2-2 draw that they got at home with Fulham was the suggestion that there was a vulnerability. There is an answer here. There is a way that we can somehow attack Liverpool. Again, they played with 10 men at home against a good Fulham team. And ultimately, because of how long the game went, they played with 10 men for 90 minutes. Again, I thought that was a good point. But maybe I was wrong. What Liverpool did today, they told everybody that believed there was a chink in the armour to shut it. They told everybody that believed that there was a title race on to shut it. Because that 6 goals away from home was a statement from Mohamed Salah. And my God, how good is he? I run out of superlatives when we talk about Mohamed Salah. You know, when we talk about icons, phenomenons, geniuses. I mean, Mohamed Salah is all of the above and more. I don't think that I'm an intelligent enough man to do that man justice. I don't think that my vocabulary is expansive enough to actually talk about the genius that man possesses. He is simply a phenomenon. And in fact, you know what? This video isn't going to be about his genius. We're going to touch on it. We're going to acknowledge the records. We're going to talk about the outrageous form on display from him. We're going to talk about the fact that he has gone beyond Billy Liddell's record for Liverpool. And everybody who has ever known anything about Liverpool knows exactly how serious that is. But I think, and I'd like your counsel on this, I think what I'm going to do is a serious, dedicated video about Mohamed Salah's genius, about his brilliance. I'm just going to do a video. Can you do me a favour? In the way that I did one recently on Bukayo Saka, and I'm going to do one on Cole Palmer. If you want that video, can you just like this video, just so I can monitor it? I'm going to do a deep dive into Mohamed Salah, who he is, what he's contributed to the Premier League, what he means to Liverpool, and put that together as a doc, if you like the idea. If not, I won't do it. But as much as I want to talk about him today, it feels like it's too grand. His brilliance is too much to focus on now in this video because we have to talk about the significance of the victory. And for Liverpool to go away from home, score 6, to move clear in the Premier League with a game in hand and to do it at Tottenham, who are seen at least as being credible opposition, was huge. But today, you know, people are going to talk about this game, 9-goal thriller, and talk about, is it one of the best games of the season? The truth is, it wasn't. The truth is, it was dull. And do you know why it was dull? Because a key ingredient was missing. When we talk about football, when we wax lyrical about football, and when people like you and I admit to loving and being addicted to football, the reason that we love it so much is jeopardy, spontaneity, unpredictability. That's what gets us going. And there was literally none of that today. Anyone watching that game could see that Liverpool were head and shoulders above Tottenham. They could see that Liverpool were clearly going to score goals for fun. They could see that Tottenham had nothing to offer. They could see that Tottenham could not stop Liverpool. And they could see that there was a mismatch in the dugout. Arne Slot knew what to do. He was constantly fiddling, constantly changing things, constantly finding ways to probe at Tottenham and constantly finding ways to exploit their very vulnerable and injury-affected backline. But the jeopardy wasn't there. There was never a chance that Liverpool weren't going to win that game. It was second gear. It was so easy. And don't get me wrong, it's a handsome victory. It's a beautiful victory if you are Liverpool. But ultimately, it's not the most significant because it was never in doubt. Liverpool are now the only club who are totally unbeaten away from home in the Premier League this season. Now that matters. Picking points up away from home at your rivals when you are going for the jugular of a Premier League title, it matters. And Tottenham was so battered. They were so well and truly beaten. It was men against boys. And let's not forget that these two teams will play each other 2 more times in the next couple of months in the League Cup semi-finals. And I just don't see how they get the ball off for Liverpool. You know, that was probably Liverpool's best performance of the season, certainly best away performance of the season. And And Slot still wasn't happy. Like, he's an intriguing character, Slot, isn't he? He really does exude, that that stereotypically Dutch control, wanting control of the game, control of the ball. And this wasn't it. Slot's teams, they win 2-0. I think that's the way Slot wants the game to be played, 2-0. It's not blitzkrieg football, heavy metal football. He's borrowed from that, and he's acknowledged the contribution of Jurgen Klopp and the brilliance that Jurgen Klopp has instilled in his team. And he's borrowed from that, and he's used that. And there have been moments where they've scored goals that are very similar to Klopp's style. But you can see the way that Arne Slot talks about football, the way that he wants his team to play, the iambic pentameter that they play with. It is not heavy metal. I made this comparison before. If Jurgen Klopp is Metallica, Arne Slot is Brandy and Monica, The Boy Is Mine. So you can see why he did suggest that this wasn't a great game and he wasn't that pleased with his team. He did it all with a wry smile. I think he knows how good it was. But he also said that his team totally switched off at 4-1 up, which, weirdly, I don't know if you've ever seen this before. It did happen. It did actually happen. Liverpool were 4-1 up, and you could see that the players were almost thinking about Christmas. And then suddenly the game became a little bit more serious. Kulusevski scores a great volleyed goal. Solanke, it all becomes a little bit more hectic. And Liverpool suddenly went, oh, dear God, wake up, focus, score a couple more goals. So Slot acknowledged that he wasn't overly happy with the way that his team had switched off, but he also acknowledged that his team were magnificent today. 6 goals away from home, 4 different goal scorers. They saw us draw earlier in the day. Obviously, Everton did them a massive favour, so they would have been happy with that if they are looking at our results. If Liverpool, and I don't know if they are. In fact, if you're a Liverpool fan and you're watching this, are you looking at us? Are you thinking that we are the team that are challenging you? Would Arne Slot be aware of what Chelsea are up to? Chelsea, I don't know. I don't even know if he'd be focused on it. But today, from his perspective, it was simply too easy. And it was just a testament to the masterful approach that he has had since he took over at Liverpool. In terms of a debut manager's first half of a season, there's nothing quite like this. Maybe Mourinho 05? What manager has landed like this to hit the ground running in the way that he has? It's sensational. I mean, it's virtually flawless. Borrowing from Klopp, instilling his own ideals, reimagining certain players, Gravenberch, turning him into a very different player, making full use of the squad. Huge changes from the game at Southampton. It's just unbelievable. And, certain players, not that you don't think they're good, but, certain players maybe I thought, maybe they're not good enough for Liverpool. Maybe they're not good enough to help Liverpool win a league. At moments, I've been impressed by Szoboszlai, but recently I wasn't too sure, and Slot had obviously dropped it. Look at that performance from him today. McAllister amongst the goals. Gravenberch, one of the best midfielders in the league. Curtis Jones when he plays, excellent. And you can see the sprinkle of stardust that Arne Slot can put on a player and elevate him to something that perhaps you didn't think he could be. And obviously, he has done that to Mohamed Salah. What Arne Slot has done to Salah in this team, I think this is the best Salah that we've ever seen. We've never seen a better version of Salah. I know some may say that the way that he played maybe alongside Firmino and Mane was more impressive. Firstly, I don't think I agree. But secondly, even if you think that, it's easier, isn't it? It's easier to lead the line with such a brilliant team. It's easier to be part of a front three rather than clearly the best player in the team, clearly the best player in the front line. So what he's doing at the moment, I just cannot believe it. He looks so assured. He's devastating. And let's be totally frank about what he did today. He tore Tottenham in half. Tottenham did not know how to live with him. He scored 2, made 2. 2 goals, 2 assists. The numbers, that ruthless, relentless pursuit of numbers from Mohamed Salah. But when I say that, this is important. When I say that, I don't mean it in a selfish way. I don't think he's a selfish footballer at all. I think he's become incredibly selfless. But it's just unbelievable. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I don't really want to focus on him. We're going to have to, of course, talk about his contribution to the game. But in terms of his legacy, Premier League legacy, I'm thinking of doing a whole video on it. So like I mentioned, like this video if you think that's a good idea. Because it's just unbelievable what he has done. It truly is. His contribution in terms of a wider context in the Premier League era, he has now become the first player to reach double figures for both goals and assists before Christmas in a single season. 13 goals, 11 assists before Christmas. Think about icons in the Premier League. Thierry Henry. Remember that season when Thierry Henry got 20 goals, 20 assists? He didn't even hit these numbers by that point. Think about Cole Palmer last season. Think about all of the brilliant players that have ever played in the Premier League, scoring goals, bundles of goals for fun. Nothing close to this. And his overall contribution in all competitions, it's 33. It's 33 this campaign. He's got like 33 goal contributions in all competitions. Do you know who's next on that list? And it's an impressive tally, but just to demonstrate the difference, it's Bukayo Saka, 22. Salah is 11 clear. Do you know what that means? It means he's in a league of his own. It means, like, you know when we talk over the years, we talk about maybe comparing Salah to certain players. Eden Hazard is often mentioned, isn't he? You talk about, look, you can think about almost any player. And there was a time, I think, when even I heard some Liverpool fans say that maybe Sadio Mane was a better player. Like, Salah has to go down as like a great. And that today from him, I mean, it's close to these. It's like something that we haven't seen before. It's phenomenon level. It really is. And to do it again and again and again. The contract talk, I find the contract talk slightly dull. None of my business either. But you got to give him a contract, right? You got to give the geezer a contract. Like, you just got to give the geezer a contract. So Liverpool, they look unstoppable to me. Tottenham did how rude. Tottenham did what Tottenham do. And next up for Liverpool, Leicester City. They're going to score goals for fun in that game. They really are. Thank you to everyone for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. I'd like to take this chance now to wish you, what do you reckon? To wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope you're all having a wonderful time. I know that this can be a really tough time for some people. So try and keep your chin up. And I really do hope that you and your loved ones have a fantastic Christmas. Hope you're having a good time. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And also let me know your thoughts on that Mohamed Salah doc. I've got a Cole Palmer one in the works. And obviously I've got the Bukayo Saka one that went up a couple of days ago. So have a look at that. If you like it, let me know. Have a wonderful day. Click subscribe. That would help me out. Again, thank you so much.